Yeah, good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. So in the previous sessions, I gave a demo on 10th August, and I have just given a demo of a script recording on 11th August, just to show you like how do we record a script in performance testing, or how does to just show that we need not write any code from scratch, and the tool will any performance testing tool will record the script and it will generate the script. Just to demonstrate that I did this exercise, I did a script recording with Geometry 5.5, just a script recording, that's it. Okay. So, and on Friday's session, I covered some computer basics, right? Now let's move on to, let me start with software development life cycle. We are done till now, till this slide, right? And so yeah, so there are some Windows shortcuts that everyone need to know and start using them. So I covered them over here. And also there are some Zoom meeting shortcuts because we will be using for the next 2 to 3 months, like we'll be using Zoom meeting. So I shared some Zoom meeting shortcuts, guys. And one more thing, in the last session, I asked you to start these Excel basics and Windows basics. So how many of you did that, guys? How many videos did you complete on Excel basics and Windows basics? So I asked you to go to Excel and go to help tab and show training. There are some basic videos on, there are some videos on Excel basics. How many of you did that, guys? So Ashraf, how many have you completed? How many videos are completed, Ashraf? And how about others? None of you did that. Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I see that Manu and Ashraf only two people done that out of 17. Of course, there are some 4 new joiners. How about others, guys? You had a long weekend. How about others? Okay. Please start it. If you haven't started it, please start it. And please, guys, say yes or no. If you haven't started, please start it immediately. Excel, Rajesh was done with Excel. Okay, Excel videos. Okay, good. I also gave an assignment to you, right? In the Google Classroom. Everyone got this? Yes, let me pause recording for a while. Resume recording. So please complete these 2 assignments, guys. Complete this, Word basics and Excel basics by going through those training videos, guys. Let me show you quickly one more time. So once you launch Excel, right? So this is called as menu bar. Okay. So one second. So this is called as menu bar. So under this you have help option, right? You have a help option here. Under help you have something called show training. So once you click on that, you are seeing these Excel video trainings, right? Please complete these one by one. Please complete this one by one. So each videos will be hardly in minutes only, right? So complete as many as possible. If you don't understand something, like skip it. Okay. So whatever you can understand, right? So go through them. If you don't understand, say for example, uh, pivot tables. If you don't understand, that is not that much important. I will let me do one thing. So complete first quick start, rows, columns, and cells, formulas, and functions. I'll do one thing. I'll give this 3 quick start, rows, columns, and cells, formulas, and functions. These are important. Tables and chart pivot tables, these are not important. Okay, let me list out this. Yeah, in the assignment. Okay. Quick start, rows, columns, and third one is formulas and functions. Yeah, please complete these three guys for today. For today and tomorrow, please complete these three. Apart from this, in Word also, I will list out some important ones that you need to learn. Quick start, write and edit, format text. So please complete 3+3, 6 videos on this, both of these. Okay. Are we good here, guys? Any queries before we start the session?
No, sir.
All right. So let's get started then. Yeah. So coming to this Windows shortcuts, right? These are some shortcuts that everyone should remember and practice this. So the first one is Alt Tab. Alt Tab, you may be knowing this one already, right? Few of you, I think I already covered this, right? Alt Tab Windows D. Okay, let me quickly repeat it. Alt Tab is like for switching between open windows or programs. Suppose in right now I am on Chrome browser, right? So let's say I want to go to Excel. So without using mouse, I can use Alt Tab like this, and I can select whatever sheet I want, or I can select whatever program I want, right? Can you please practice this, guys? Can you please try this Alt Tab plus Alt Tab together, guys? As there are some non-computers, guys, I'm covering this. Can you please do that? So suppose I want to go to so Word, MS Word, Microsoft Word. Again, use Alt Tab. You can keep pressing this, and then you go to, once you go to Word, right, release that both the keys. Are you doing that, guys, along with me?
Sir, do.
And the next one, next Windows shortcut that I want to cover is like Windows D. So suppose you have some 4 or 5 programs open now. I opened Excel, I opened like Microsoft Word and Paint and Chrome browser and Zoom meeting. Suppose I want to go to desktop, I want to see my desktop. You can use this, we can use this shortcut Windows D. Can you please do that, everyone? Windows plus D, the letter D on the keyboard together, right? So you'll be able to open Windows desktop. Again, if you want to switch back to Chrome, like just you can use Alt Tab and select Chrome and leave the keys here. Clear, guys? Next one is Windows E. Suppose like if you want to open, go to some D drive or E drive or something, right? So you can use Windows Explorer. Windows E is the shortcut, Windows plus E, right? And you get this File Explorer window from where you can go to any drive, whatever that drive you want, right? Windows E is the shortcut for that. Guys, please practice it now. Please, start using this. If you are not using that, start using this immediately. And next one is F11. So F11 is to maximize the windows. Let's say, for example, now you are seeing the one, I am in Chrome browser now, but I want to see I want to zoom it, for example, right? So, or I want to see the maximized window. So you can use F11 on your keyboard, right? Now, this is how you see here. Got it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right? Again, if you want to go back, revert, right? Again, press F11. Then the previous view will be restored, right? This is to maximize. Again, click F1, F11 to exit that full screen. So see here, basically see here, it is displaying instruction here, plus F11 to exit the full screen, isn't it? If you want to exit the full screen, go back to click F11 again, right? And you all know this, Control C, Control X, Control V. Most of you know this, right? Except those from non-computers background, you may be knowing this. Control C, Control C is to copy to clipboard. Control X is to cut and store to the clipboard, right? And Control V is paste from the clipboard. And I already covered quick access, I believe. So quick access is, suppose there are some frequently visited folders in your system, right? You can add them to the quick access like this. Let me show you here. So you have some, see, observe here. You see some pin symbol over here, right? These are all added to quick access. Suppose I want to, I will be using this particular folder very frequently, Apache JMeter 5.5. So which is in G Drive Tools, Apache, this folder, right? In G Drive Tools, I have this Apache JMeter 5.5, right? So one way is like you open File Explorer and go to, the regular way is first go to G Drive and then Tools and then go to this 5.5, this folder, right? The other way is this quick access method is, if you want to access any folder frequently, so go to that folder and go to home button and you should use this option pin to quick access. Click on this pin to quick access. Now I already have it here. So next time onwards, if I want to go to that folder, you open a File Explorer and simply click on this 5.5, this pin. You got it, right? Or this quick access item, right? So click on this particular folder in the quick access and you will be able to go directly. So this is the benefit of this quick access list. You can see here I have added quite a few some folders which I frequently visit on my system. Frequently I need to go to those folders on my system. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, start using these Windows shortcuts, guys. And next one is Zoom meeting shortcuts. So as we will be using this Zoom meeting only for the next 3 to 4 months, right? So JMeter training will be 2 months and load runner training will be for 2 months. Load runner monitoring and analysis, rest of all concepts, it will take if you are attending parallelly, you can complete in 2 months. But if you want to attend one after another, it will take 3 to 4 months. So that's why I want to make you, comfortable and habituated with these Zoom meeting shortcuts as well. The first one is Alt-A. Alt-A is for mute or unmute. Okay, I muted everyone, right? So, but if I just now I muted everyone. Suppose if you want to unmute, you can use Alt-A. Can you please try it once? Can you please try Alt-A on your keyboard, guys? It will temporarily mute or unmute you. And one more shortcut is you can use this, press and hold the space bar also. If you want to temporarily unmute, right, you can use space bar also. Okay. So Alt is for change, Alt for alter. If you know that, you will not forget that. Forget that shortcut. Okay. What is the meaning of alter, guys? Alter means change. Okay. ALTER, alter means change. So basically how the shortcut came is change, see Alt for alt, change, and A for audio. Okay, V for video. Suppose you want to turn video on or off, you can use the shortcut Alt V. And space bar is to temporarily unmute yourself. Suppose if you want to temporarily unmute, right? So press and hold the space bar on your keyboard. Clear, guys? Next shortcut is like Alt H. Alt H is to open the chat window. Once you are on Zoom meeting, right? If you use Alt H, it will open the chat window. Are you seeing my chat window now?
Sir.
Right. And Alt S is share your screen. If you want to share your screen, you can use Alt S. So you see here. So S for screen and V for video, A for audio here, and H. I don't know why. Why they have given this H. I am not sure. Okay, maybe C is for C we use for copy, right? Copy to clipboard, right? That's why they might have given some other chosen some other letter. That's fine. So these are the Zoom meeting shortcuts that I want to make you comfortable with, right? And these are very important, guys. Please, please follow these. These are very important. So if anyone knows any other important shortcuts, I will add it. Please, please let me know. I'll add it here. Any other shortcuts, important shortcuts in Windows? Yes, am I audible, guys? Yeah. So let's move to the next concept. Okay. So we'll start with software development life cycle. Okay. So today I'll cover I'll explain the software development life cycle, and if possible, I'll explain testing life cycle if time permits. So for any project, so whenever like development team is developing any project, right? So this is the typical software development life cycle. This is just an example, guys. So we have some changes now. This is yeah, I will discuss that later. First, let's understand the software development life cycle. Software development life cycle means, so what are the different phases involved in a software project development? Here, guys, what are the different stages or what are the different phases in a software project development? Clear, guys? So in any software development life cycle starts with, guys, am I audible? Please respond. I think everyone is
Kishore.
right. So any software project starts with requirement analysis. So first, all the software requirements will be collected and the requirements will be analyzed, right? So the architect, generally the architect will be involved here. The architect plays a major role here in collecting the requirements and analyzing the requirements, particularly to analyze the requirements, and he will design the application. Architect will design the application. So when I say design the application, so what programming language should be used? Front end, what language should be used for front end, right? And what should be used for back end? What is database that we have to use? All that will be decided in the designing phase, right? So once the software is designed, once the design is completed, right, then comes implementation. Implementation is nothing but like the development team will start developing the writing code for the project. Okay. So development team. So implementation phase is nothing but coding phase. So here developers will be involved. Developers play a major role here and they will be writing the code. Once the development is completed, right, testing comes into picture. Of course, this is a typical software development life cycle I'm saying, right? Just an example, right? So once this coding is completed, right, testing will come into picture. Of course, nowadays, like most of the projects are following agile methodology, wherein testing will be started along with development. We'll discuss that later, right? Nowadays, every project is following agile methodology, wherein the software testing will be started as soon as the development is started, right? We'll discuss that later. Yes, that is called as something called as shift left approach. You can, and one more thing, did I start a notes for you, Word document for you for running notes?
No, sir.
No, not started.
So I'll give you your class notes over here. So SDLC stands for software development. Those who have some more time, please practice typing this. So use some typing tutors. And those who want to keep experience particularly. So go choose any typing tutor and practice typing. Okay. So software development, SDLC stands for software development lifecycle. Now, so I said something, right? Shift left approach. What is shift left approach, guys?
Both development and testing will be
Implementation
done.
and testing will done along.
Yeah, we came across one more new term called agile methodology, right? So agile methodology, nowadays projects are following agile methodology. We'll discuss what are the different methodologies that projects follow, like waterfall and agile and etc. So I'll explain this agile methodology and all later on. So just now, for now, remember these terms. Just remember these terms. And what is the shift left approach, guys? Shift left approach means here software testing starts along with the development. One of the important interview question: what is shift left approach? Software testing starts as soon as the development is started, as soon as the project or software development is started. So then it is called as shift left approach. I'll explain you later why it is called as shift left approach, and I'll explain that later. Right? And then once testing is completed, right, the application will go into production. So that is called as evaluation phase. Production means your that project or or that website or that mobile application will go into live and will be available for real world users. So that is called as this evaluation phase. Clear, guys? So this is a typical software development life cycle. It starts with requirement gathering and requirement analysis. So once all the requirements are analyzed, architect will design the application. So in this phase, what happens here in this designing phase? Guess what happens in the designing phase? Team will decide what programming language to use, front end for back end, for front end, database, right? And all these will be designed and right, and that is called as designing phase. And what is implementation phase?
Developers implement the program.
Writing code.
Right. Yes. Yes. Someone in Rajesh is asking in chat that API development comes under implementation phase. Yes, it falls under implementation phase only. Right. So developers will start writing the code for that project. Right. So that is called as implementation phase. So next another phase is testing phase. Right. So testing. So right. So if testing starts along with development, that is called a shift left approach. Nowadays, all the projects are following that only. Testing will be started along with development. Previously, like, once the code is developed, right? Testing used to be started, after coding is completed, right? So previously, but right now, most of the projects are, following agile methodology, wherein testing will be started along with the development. And once the testing is completed, right, it will go into the application will go into production. That is evaluation phase. So this is a typical software development life cycle, right? Now let's move on. So we are interested in this testing phase, right? We are not interested in this designing phase or implementation phase or evaluation phase, but we are interested in this testing phase. Now this is my favorite quote about testing. So to tell somebody that they are wrong is called as criticism, and to do so officially while being paid is called as testing, right? So our job is to find the mistakes in the software. Clear, guys? As a software tester, so our job is to find out mistakes in the application, right? To do so officially is called as testing. So now let's understand, testing life cycle. So we are interested in this testing phase, right? Now let's understand testing life cycle. So in any project, right, as soon as developers write some code, they will do something called unit testing. So there are different phases in testing. The first one is unit testing, and unit testing will be done by developers, by the developers themselves. Here, I mentioned it here, unit testing will be done by developers. And now what is meant by an unit? Unit means a small piece of something is called as an unit. That is the general meaning of unit, right? Unit means a small piece of something is called as an unit. Now, developers write some piece of code, small piece of code, and they do some testing immediately. That is called as unit testing, right? So unit testing is also called as white box testing. We'll discuss why it is called as white box testing. So unit testing is white box testing done during the development of an application by the developers, right? So during the development or coding phase of an application by the developers, that is called as unit testing. And is it clear, guys? So let's assume some example. Let's say a team of developers are working on this Gmail application. A team of developers are working on this Gmail application, right? Or any application. You can take any example. Let's say, let's take Redbus application, right? A team of developers are working on this application, let's say, for example, right? Or a team of developers is working on Amazon application, right? Not one developer can do this, right? There will be a team of developers. Yeah. Now let's take Gmail example. So if you take Gmail example, right? So one second. So this will be developed in bits and pieces, right? This Gmail application or any application will be developed in bits and pieces. Let's say, like one developer is working on this part, and one developer is working on this inbox part, right? And one developer is working on the UI, the whole UI, right? So once a developer writes a piece of code, right, they will test that piece of code, and that is called as unit testing, right? So unit testing is a wide, and it is called as white box testing. Why is it called white box testing? Is developers knows in and out of that application. They know in and out of the application. That's why it is called as white box testing. Once I cover black box testing, then you will understand why those are. Why do we use those terminology like white box and black box? Okay, so here I will explain black box testing, then you'll understand why they are called as white box testing and black box testing. Right. So let me go to the slideshow mode again. So as soon as developer writes some piece of code, right, they will do something called unit testing, right? And unit testing isolate a section of code and verify its correctness. Isolate a section of code means they will not test the complete application. They will test a small piece of code to verify whether it is working properly or not as per the requirement or not, right? That is unit testing. And a unit may be an individual function, method, procedure, module, or object. Unit means here a unit means it can be an individual function, method, procedure, module, or object. So for non-computers guys, these are new terms, right? Don't worry about this. We will learn it throughout the course. What is a function? What is method? What is procedure, module, and object? So let me explain module and object. Okay. So because I have some good examples here. So let me explain this. What is this module? Right? Software module. When I say module, software module. Let's say, for example, like here, if you take this Gmail example, right? This may be developed as different modules like this. One second, please. So this Gmail application will be developed as different modules. For example, inbox is one module. This total thing, primary, social, and promotion, this make your inbox, right? So this will be developed as one module, and this may be developed as one module. Why it is not showing like a folder? So you'll see Google Meet and all, right? Yeah. So you see here, right? So this will be developed as one module and one software module, right? Now you understood what is meant by a module, right? Different parts of a project, different parts of an application are called as modules. If you take Redbus example, for example, right? This may be developed. One second. This is not a right example. Hold on. Yeah. So if you see this, right? If you see Amazon application, all right. So it can be developed as different modules like this. One module can be this bestsellers, and one module can be mobiles. One module can be customer service. Got it, right? Different tabs are different major parts of an application. These are called as modules. Clear, guys? Modules is nothing but different parts, different components of an application. Those are called as modules. Yes, am I audible? Please respond, guys. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right? So, and functions, method, and all procedure, we'll discuss that later. Okay. So a unit means a unit may be an individual function, means a small function in a program, right? If you take this as a Java application, let's say assume that this is developed using Java. In Java, there are different, Java programs, right? So class is an important component in a Java program. Java, let's say Java class means Java class means one piece of code in Java that is called as a Java class. And inside a Java class, there can be functions, multiple functions. We'll discuss this later. It's a bit early to discuss this as I have some non-computers guys. I don't want to confuse them, right? Not that much important also now. So let's move on to the next one. The next type of testing is integration testing. Now let's assume that each developer is developing these different modules or different pages, right? And once, all these pieces should be combined together and tested, right? So that is called as integration testing. The next type of testing is integration testing. Integration testing. So what is the general meaning of integration, guys? Anyone? What is the general meaning of integration?
I mean, we will combine all the
Right.
modules.
Right. Combination of something is called as integration. So if you see the general meaning of integration, right? So integration, what is the general meaning of integration, right? So integration means combination of something, that is called as the process of uniting different things, that is called as integration. The act or process of uniting or combining different things, that is called as integration. Clear? Now, once these pieces of code are combined together, right? There should be some testing. There will be some testing happening, that is called as integration testing. Clear, guys? Let's say, for example, if you take Gmail example, one developer worked on this, this pattern. Let me annotate. Let me use annotation. So one developer worked on this part and another developer worked on this part, right? And another developer worked on the search functionality, right? And now, so in this way, like each developer will be working on different parts. This is part of UI development, this left part and this right part. This is part of UI development. So once all these parts are combined together, right? So we have to test whether all the, whether the application is working correctly or not. Once these are integrated together, isn't it? See, this may be developed as one separate part. This one, right? So once all these parts are combined together, right? So we have to test whether all those are working together or not as per the requirement. Let's say, for example, if I click on compose button, I should get a new message window like this, right? So now, like if I, let's say, if I go to send, if I click on send, it should show the sent emails, right? So this testing the application after combining different parts, different software modules is called as integration testing, where integration stands for combining different pieces, right? Combining different things. And that is done in an environment called system in SIT environment, where SIT stands for system integration testing. Clear, guys? SIT stands for system integration testing. System means application here, right? So integration testing is defined as a type of testing where software modules are integrated logically and tested as a group. Is this definition clear now? Different software modules are integrated and tested as a group. Is the definition clear, guys? With the examples, with the given examples.
Yes, sir.
I want particularly from Madhuri. Madhuri, able to follow, Madhuri?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, Madhuri and Swati, those from non-computer skills, right? Seswadana and Ashrafunisa, able to follow, right?
Yes.
Next one. So a typical software project consists of multiple software modules coded by different programmers. I explained this already. Any typical software project consists of multiple software modules coded by different programmers, right? And the purpose is to expose the defects in the interaction between these software modules when they are integrated. What is the purpose of this integration testing? To find out any defects in the interaction between these software modules once they are integrated, once they are combined. So let me give some examples over here, right? So if you take any vehicle manufacturing, let's say a bike or a car, right? So a bike or a car consists of thousands of components, yes or no? Let's say if you take an example of a car, it will consist of different components, like it will consist of engine separate manufactured by one manufacturer, right? And mostly like Ford, I think Ford manufactures most of the engines for all the most of the cars, isn't it? So engine will be manufactured by one manufacturer, headlights will be manufactured by another, right? The chassis will be developed by another manufacturer, seats will be developed, seats in a car will be developed by another manufacturer, right? And they will do their individual testing, yes or no? once once a engine is developed, once a engine is manufactured, they will test it separately. Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Or once a headlight is manufactured, right? So it will be tested by its manufacturer, isn't it? Once a steering wheel is manufactured, it will be tested by its developer, by its manufacturer. Now, once all these are assembled together and the car is assembled, right? Again, they have to do some testing, right?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Just because the individual component is tested, we cannot ignore the testing, right? We cannot, once the car is assembled, again some testing will happen. Yes or no? Right?
Yes.
So in the
Yes,
same
sir.
way here also, different software modules are developed by different programmers, isn't it? Different software modules are developed by different programmers. And once all they are integrated together, again, this system integration testing will be done to check whether there are any defects in the interaction between these software modules, whether they are working as expected as per the requirement or not, right? That is integration testing. And the environment, see, environment is nothing but, system, computer on which this testing is done. So once this software is integrated, right, it will be done on some computer, some group of computers, that is called as environment. That's it, right? And this is done in an environment called system SIT environment, where SIT stands for system integration testing, right? And the next type of testing is functional testing. So guys, if you have any queries, please feel free to stop and ask me immediately, right? So don't keep that, doubt in your mind, guys. So because you will be thinking around that only. So please clarify your doubts as soon as possible. The next type of testing is functional testing. Functional testing is done by in QA environment by QA team, right? Where QA stands for quality analysis or quality assurance. QA stands for quality analysis or quality assurance. And the functional testing is done in this QA environment, where QA testing or functional testing is also, this functional testing is also called as black box testing. It is a type of black box testing where the system is tested against the functional requirements or specifications. So functional testing is a type of black box testing where the system is tested against the functional requirements or specifications. Now let's understand what is functional testing. First of all, let me give some example. Let's take Gmail example. I'll open new browser. So the first time you use Gmail, right, you type gmail.com and everyone will get this page, right? The first time you access your Gmail, right? So you'll get this page, right? So here, if you observe here, we are supposed to enter email or phone, isn't it? We are
Yes.
supposed to enter email or phone. Let's say, for example, I am entering this. This is my Gmail ID, right? I am entering Gmail over here. And if I click on next, what should happen, guys?
It
The
should ask
password.
password.
Right, the application should ask for our password. Gmail application should prompt our password, should prompt for our password to enter the password, right? Now observe here, you can type the full Gmail or else you can simply type your Gmail. You can ignore that at gmail.com, right? Now also, if I click on next, right, it should ask for password. Now you see here, it is automatically taking that gmail.com, isn't it? Right? So this is the requirement. This is the requirement according to which the application is developed. Now, once you enter your password here, right? If it is any second factor authentication, it will ask. Basically, I have enabled this two-step verification for my Gmail, right? So it should prompt for this. Like I should go to my phone and check that. But I need to confirm that I am accessing from my mobile. I need to confirm it from my mobile. I'm doing that quickly. So once you confirm, right, once you complete this two-step verification also, it should show my inbox, isn't it? So this is the functionality of the application. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Right? So this is how Gmail functions. The Gmail should function. And Once I enter the email address over here or mobile number, I can enter my phone as well, isn't it? I can enter my mobile number as well. So whether I enter email or phone number, it should, and I click next, right? It should take to my, it should ask me my password, right? This is the functionality of the application. Now testing this functionality of the application is called as functional testing. Okay. So this functional testing is nothing but testing the functionality of the application. Clear, guys? And it is done in an environment called QA environment. And functional testing is also called as black box testing. So why is it called as black box testing? Is to test this functionality, do we need to see to test this functionality? Does the tester need to know any programming language, guys?
No.
Does the functional tester need to know the
No.
code, about code, the code or the language in which this application is developed?
No.
No.
No, right? So we need not know the internals, or do we need to know what is the backend, what is the database for this application and all? We need not know any of these details, isn't it?
Yes.
So we thought, so functional testing team need not know any of these internals of the application, right? For testing the application. That's why this is called as black box testing. Clear, guys?
Yeah.
It's complete black box to the functional testing team. The application that they are testing is a black box to the functional testing team. They need not know the internals of the application. That is why it is called as black box testing. Now you understood what is the difference between white box testing and black box testing.
Yes.
White box testing is done by developers and they know the internals of the application. They know what is the programming language, they know the code, they know what is the software methodology that they are using, what is the back end and all those details, developers know that, right? That is so that's why that is called as unit testing is called as white box testing and functional testing is called as black box testing. Very important interview concept. Okay, or very important concept for in software development also. What is the difference between what is black box testing and what is white box testing? Or what is the difference? What is?
But what is meant by SIT then? Like this integration testing also will be done by tester or developer?
It depends. So it depends. So some projects like there will be a separate team for integration testing. So in our project, like we have a separate testing team for who are doing that in a integration, who are doing that integration testing. And if it is a small project or it depends. There is no definite answer for that.
Okay.
Developers in some projects, like developers themselves does that integration testing as well.
Sir, can I give that answer?
Yes.
So, sir, usually integration testing is done by manual QA team only for making sure that all the modules of what other developers has created, and then they have provided a merged build with those integrated modules. So in that case, integration testing is required because we need to make sure that all the functionality is working fine due to the merging of other modules. So in product company, mostly not 100% time that QA team is responsible for testing all that.
Okay, thanks, Rahul. Yeah. Okay. Now, so is it clear? Is your question answered, Rajesh?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, let's move on. So functions or features are tested by feeding them input and examining the output. So if you want to explain functional testing, right? Functions or features are tested by feeding them input and examining the output. So that's what we did here, right? So we went to Gmail. If you are testing Gmail application, let's say for example. So what is the input here? We need to enter our email or phone number. That is the input, isn't it? So this is the input, and we are examining the output. We are testing whether the application is prompting, asking for password or not. Right now, is this clear? More clear now? So login functionality, we are testing the login functionality here. What is the functionality that we are testing? We are testing the login functionality. If you are testing login functionality, we will give the required input and examine the output, whether we are getting the desired output or not, right? So this is what we do in functional testing, and functional testing ensures that the software requirements are properly satisfied by the application. the software requirements are properly satisfied by the application. Is it clear, guys, everyone? What is functional testing? You take any example. Let's take, Amazon example, because everyone is using Amazon, right? So once you click on this, once you go to Amazon homepage, you should get a search option here, and you should get this banners and ads and all, right? And you should see the different modules of the project of this application, Amazon application, right? These are different software modules. And if you search for some product over here, it should return, the application should return the search results like this. So this is the functionality of the application, right? Clear, guys? So when you're testing this, right, we will have a lot of thousands of test cases over here. For such application, you will have hundreds to thousands of test cases, right? So that is functional testing. We test we feed some input, give some input, and examine the output, and we check whether the software requirements are properly satisfied by the application or not in functional testing, right? Next comes performance testing. Of course, see, guys, these are the important types of testing. Apart from this, we have security testing, penetration testing, and a few others. I have listed out the important types of testing in the testing lifecycle. Next comes performance testing, right? So performance testing is done in an environment called test environment or engineering environment. So we'll discuss this later. First, let's understand what is now performance testing. Performance testing is non-functional testing to determine an application's speed, responsiveness, and stability. So performance testing is non-functional testing. So you understood. For that, you need to understand first. You need to understand the difference between functional testing and non-functional testing is, or functional testing and performance testing. So when we do performance testing, right, we are not bothered about the functionality of the application, because functional testing team is there to take care of that. So performance testing is non-functional testing. We don't test the functionality of the application, but we are interested to find out how speed the application is, how responsive the application is, and how stable the application is, right? When I say speed, right, let's say, for example, if you go to, I'm going to Amazon application homepage by clicking on this. Now it is taking some time to load this page, right? So that is nothing but the response time of your application. Or else let me go to some other website, apple.com, right? See here, it is taking some time to load the page, right? It took some 2 seconds or 3 seconds to load the complete page. Yes or no? That is the speed of this page. When you say speed, right, that is nothing but the response time of the page, how much time it is taking to load the page. Clear, guys? So that is speed. We are interested in this. In non-functional testing, we are interested in response time of the page, responsiveness of the application, and stability of the application. How stable is the application? When there are thousands and lakhs of users are using any application, right? How stable is that application, right? So that is performance testing. Clear, guys? So this slide speaks about difference between functional testing and non-functional testing. I have separated this over here. So functional testing is testing the functionality of the application. As you can see here, it is testing functionality of the application. And non-functional testing is defined as a type of software testing to check the non-functional aspects. When I say non-functional aspects, performance, security, usability, reliability. I just mentioned, right, there are different types of non-functional testing. In this slide, I mentioned, right, there are other types of testing also. And here are those: security testing, usability testing, reliability testing, and all this, right? These are all non-functional testing types. Okay. And performance I have highlighted here because we are going to learn, we are interested in performance testing. So I have highlighted this performance testing over here. So all these fall under non-functional testing, non-functional aspects of an application. What are those? Performance, security, usability, reliability. These all fall under non-functional testing. Performance testing is one type of non-functional testing. Clear, guys? Able to follow, guys? Did you understand? Please, for today, understand the difference between functional testing and non-functional testing. Functional testing is testing the functionality of the application, whereas non-functional testing means we have different types of non-functional testing like performance, security, usability, reliability, etc. Right? And for functional testing can be classified or categorized into two types. If you are doing functional testing without using any tools, that is called as manual testing. But if you are using any tools like Selenium or UFT for doing this functional testing, right, that is called as automation testing. Okay. If you are doing functional testing without any tools, that is called as manual testing. If you are using any tools like Selenium UFT for doing functional testing, that is called as automation testing. Clear, guys? Functional testing is done in two ways, manual and automation. And coming to non-functional testing or coming to performance testing, so let's ignore about the other types of testing for time being. We are not interested in security testing and all those. We are interested in performance testing. And there are two major tools for performance testing. So, I have to add it. Neoload is also becoming popular, right? So there are, couple of tools for important tools for performance testing like load runner, JMeter, Neoload, etc. Right? So we do this non-functional testing or we do this performance testing with the help of these tools, load runner, JMeter, Neoload, etc. These are the important performance testing tools. I'll stop it here, guys, for today. We'll continue tomorrow. So any queries before we close the session, guys, for today? Tomorrow I'll explain one more time what performance testing at high level and what are the major factors for doing performance testing and what are the goals for doing performance testing. What are the goals of performance testing for a already existing application and for a newly built application. We'll discuss this tomorrow. So for today, what are the important concepts we covered? I explained testing life cycle, software development life cycle, testing life cycle, and performance testing, right? Difference between functional testing and non-functional testing. Okay. So I introduced performance testing. So tomorrow we will be discussing performance testing in detail in the coming up slides. Any queries before we close the session for today, guys? I need everyone's Gmail ID here to share the recorded session, right? So I will not upload I'll stop uploading as a public videos going forward, and I will be sharing to your Gmail only. I'll be giving access to your Gmail only. Please share your Gmail, everyone. Those who did not share yet to me. Preeti, can you please ping me your Gmail ID if you haven't pinged me? And
Yeah,
Pawan, I have a
all
read ID. Pawan, please ping me your Gmail ID in the Zoom chat once. Also Sandeep and Swati also. Those who haven't shared your Gmail ID to me, please share it, guys, in the Zoom chat or WhatsApp. I'm pausing recording, guys. Any queries, guys, before we close the session for today? Okay, let me pause recording. So we are done with the demo session, guys. So contact on my WhatsApp number that is being displayed here. If anyone want to enroll for this live project training, performance testing training with real-time projects and placement, 100% placement. So I am conducting some simple assessment to the candidates, and those who get through those assessments, we are giving 100% placement assurance. In just 2 to 3 months, you will be able to crack interviews on your own, and you will be able to do job without any external job support, right? So 90%, we have 90%, above 90% successful placement ratio in all the batches in the last 2 years. If you meet me personally, I can show their offer letters and when did they join and all those details. I can share the contact numbers of around 30 to 40 people who got placement in the last 1 to 2 years, guys. Okay. So please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. So if you want to join this live training, so contact on my WhatsApp number that is being displayed here, or ping me on my WhatsApp number. I will get back to you. And those who haven't subscribed yet, so go to youtube.com and search for the software performance testing real-time training, and turn on all notifications. Okay, once you search on this YouTube, you can go to those who haven't subscribed yet, can search like this, software performance testing real-time training. And you see my channel over here, this with my logo, as you can see over here. Right? So subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on all notifications so that you will get updates on free demo sessions and updates on new batches. Signing off for today. Bye.